Hey everyone, and welcome to your next episode of this Spiritual Tea podcast. With me, your host Lex. This podcast is all about astrology, how it enriches our lives, and also how we can use it and understand it within our lives. So, this is actually the final episode of my first season. This is episode 22. And I'm really excited to go into a new season, hopefully with some better content and lots of different new creative sort of twists. So we'll keep that there. But for all of you that have sort of been listening from the start or whenever, I really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much. So thank you. Okay, so this is actually quite exciting. Well, not necessarily exciting, but it's big. It's a big energy today, and it's not necessarily to do with the new moon. The full moon. So I'm gonna discuss the full moon a little bit. But what I really want to discuss today is the fact that Saturn has entered Pisces, which is absolutely, as I said, it's a big move, and it will have definitely an effect on all of us in a big way. So, okay, let's just get on to the full moon then. So the full moon is in Virgo. It's occurring this evening, the 7th of March, 2023. The house that Virgo rules is the 6th house in the astrological housing system. And the 6th house is relating to our work life, our duty, the responsibility in our life, service to others, things like that. Full moons are generally about releasing, cleansing, healing, and letting go. So the focus that I've got around not only this new moon, but the other astrological events and the general overall energy is emotion or logic, trust in the process. Okay, so at the moment, as we know, we are fully in the swing of Pisces season. Pisces season is really all about wanting us to believe in our dreams, while the Virgo moon urges us to seek knowledge through analysis. Virgo's big thing is analyzing. Virgo will analyze everything to the finest point in detail. And they can't even follow the saying, the devil is in the detail, because they're that intense with the trying to piece and work out and meticulously put things together. So these can become basically stressful and confusing energies, just because they're very conflicting. So while Pisces is in its natural sort of dreamy, everything will be fine, Virgo wants to know how, when, what, where, why, and that's not really Pisces' thing. Pisces more goes with the flow. So it can be a bit conflicting, and the remedy will always be, so for our evolution, our spiritual evolution and our journey here, the remedy is finding the meaning in our lives from talking through things and essentially understanding them with the equal balance of emotion versus logic. Okay, so we use the people around us, and with the 10th house being a thing right now, and Capricorn rules the 10th house, and the word for Capricorn is I use. So with that being a thing right now, we need to use the people around us in the best possible way, in a way that help us to understand, to work through, to marry certain situations together in order to understand why they've happened and how that relates to us now as our present self. The more we learn and understand and heal our former selves, the better our present self is like working. It's like a car, isn't it? It's like a car with new, I don't know, wheels, tires, but all of the engine is like really old. So the tires will work because they will work, they're new tires, but the stuff under the body might start to deteriorate and whatnot. It's a really bad analogy, but I'm sticking with it. So yeah. Okay, so just keeping in mind, let's look at the organizations we need to look at, speak to the people that we know are wise, and let's do what needs to be done in order to move forward, basically. So with Mercury also being in Pisces, that can feel it can feel a bit harder, a bit wishy-washy. For example, extreme highs to very extreme lows, that could easily be a thing right now. So taking time to contemplate why we feel how we feel is extremely important, and as I said in about 2 podcasts ago, the number 7 highly resonates with this year. This is a number 7 year, and one of the words that relates to number 7 is justice. So we have to know, are our emotions, how we feel, is it justified? Is it really justified? Are we really justified? That's important, because not every emotional reaction we have to something is always justified. And that is, if we're completely honest with ourselves, that's true. So we have to really sit down with ourselves sometimes and be like, okay, is this me? Am I overreacting? Am I being overly emotional? And then that's how we do that by throwing some logic in there in order to assess the situation. Okay, so that is essentially the full moon energy that we'll be working with over the next 2 weeks. And as I said, the biggest thing happening, I guess, aside from that, alongside that, is the fact that Saturn has entered Pisces. So the overall message for Saturn entering Pisces, I'm going to read that first. Okay, so Saturn in Pisces is meant to test our limits. It's meant to test our comfort level, and with not always being able to know why. But it also asks us to trust, have acceptance and courage in the face of uncertainties. Okay, so that's really important. That's the overall message. So the reason is Saturn is the planet of structure. It's the planet of discipline, boundaries, time, and limitations. And essentially, it's always going to put limitations in place for us. It's always going to make us check ourselves and throw obstacles in our way to see how good we are at basically fighting through the obstacles and the challenges. That's Saturn's entire job. So after 2.5 years, it's actually been in Aquarius for 2.5 years, which is another outer planet, just like Pisces. And that planet is all about independence and revolution, Aquarius is. But basically, Saturn will take shape in Pisces from the 7th of March, today, until the 24th of May 2025. And we will basically, over the next 3 years, we will 150%, we will be embracing our spiritual beliefs, our creativity, and we will use them in order to be able to catapult ourselves forward. And some of the areas that we might be able to see that manifest is going to be in the arts, any arts, music, singing, dancing, writing, poetry, visual art, I don't care, whatever kind of arts. It could be relating to career, it will be relating to status, authority figures, father figures, and our public image. Okay, so all of those areas over the next 3 years are going to be shaped by our own personal spiritual beliefs, our creativity, and then we're going to use it. Okay, so now is the time to release, basically. This is what Saturn's really doing. Okay, so he's going to make us look at everything and be able to release any hurts and start to embrace the healing, because we do have the ability to self-heal, heartache, also minor ailments, and Saturn wants us to move forward. It always wants us to move forward. Yeah, sorry, I was just reading. So yeah, so it wants us to move forward at this time, and because once we've moved forward past these past hurts or upsets, then and only then will we be able to see clearer. We'll be able to see our vision. We'll be able to see what it is we're going for, basically. And we'll also be able to see clearly, very, very clearly, what is holding us back from evolving in the world. And that is so important. You know, it's not always about seeing, you know, where we want to go, but a lot of the time it's definitely about looking really hard at what is stopping us from evolving, and the things that are stopping us from evolving. If we choose to continue with them, we could find ourselves in another 3, 5, 7, 8 year cycle with these things, depending on what your placements are and how your chart looks. It all depends. But if that sounds like something that you, or you know, might be struggling with, these are going to come up 100% for us to look at. You know, because at the end of the day, once we embrace and then set and accept everything about us, our past, our present, and our future, we can then become in rhythm with the universe, and then obviously be able to manifest better. We'll be quicker at manifesting, we'll be more in line, we'll be more in tune, and we'll be a hell of a lot more clear. Because I think a lot of the time people manifest, but because energy is so fleeting, 1 minute we want it, next minute we don't. 1 minute we want something, next minute we don't. 1 minute we're happy, next minute we're sad. We need to get more honed in on things that are able to nourish us and the things that are not, and be able to make the decision, even if they're hard decisions, to step away from those things that are not necessarily going to catapult us forward into the next best part of our life. You know, and that's really what life's all about. I mean, personally, even if I'm in a stale time, let's say I might have a 3 months, this period of time where it's been a bit stale, not much going on, just work. The idea is that the only things that are penetrating me in my energy in that time, in that 3 months, they're not toxic things. They're not, you know, sort of distracting things. That, I mean, that's the idea anyway. I'm not saying that that's what I do. I'm saying that's the idea. The idea is to have as less negative impact in your space as possible, because only that way am I able to keep a clear mind, keep a clear head, and put forward a good manifestation that I can actually hope to see in a quicker time, you know, because it's less clouded. Don't be surprised if the full moon period is revealing uncomfortable information to you. Okay, so over the next few weeks, don't be surprised if there are things that you might not necessarily want to look at, but end up looking at, or talking about, because at the end of the day, until it's done, we can't really move on from it. And as I said before, if you want to, if we want to be stuck with certain things on us, then then we don't do anything. At the end of the day, we carry on. But if we want to be moved forward, up to on the next level, whether it's in the physical realm or whether it's in the spiritual realm, it depends, where you're at with stuff, or what is more important, or even just both. It is 100% about being as light as we possibly can in this 3D realm, in order to bring everything together, basically, for ourselves, and then hopefully for those around us, because ultimately that's what we're supposed to be doing. Let's not make light of the people that are around us. Let's not make light of the fact that we all need each other in order to evolve. It's very important that everybody understands that and shows respect in that way, because we all have something to offer and teach, even if it's negative, even if it's positive. It doesn't matter. We are learning off people all of the time. Okay, so that's basically the message that I have around this full moon in Virgo / Saturn entering Pisces phase. So as I said, look out for lots of big changes over the next 3 years, and remember that there's always a gift with Saturn and any planet usually, but especially some of the big ones like Saturn, Jupiter. They definitely bring gifts. So what I did today was, in light of that and my final notes, I did the cards a little bit different. So I've asked them, what is the spiritual gift that we will be receiving through Saturn in Pisces over the next 3 years? I've asked, what is the the gift in love we will be receiving from Saturn in Pisces over the next 3 years? And then I asked, what is the gift we will be receiving on the physical realm over the next 3 years? Okay, so the answers were the spiritual gifts that we will be receiving over the next 3 years. Clear, cancel, and delete. Use only positive words and thoughts as they rapidly manifest into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. Use only positive words and thoughts as they are rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. And then, so this is the card that fell out. And then just as I was closing the deck back up, this one was the only other one that was turned over. So I took it out as well. And it says manifestation power. Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. I mean, this is basically what I was saying in the notes. Don't be afraid to ask for help. When we ask our ancestors who have passed over, God, whoever it is that you speak to, for help when it comes to your physical life here still, they will 100% do it. They will come through and they will do it. They will help you. Okay, and sometimes they help you by way of sending somebody to speak to you. It could just be a passing conversation. It could be so many different ways. Angel numbers. You might see a repeated number. Look it up. Maths is very, very closely connected to spirituality, obviously via numerology. So all of these things are good to look at. Definitely use the knowledge. He's got the sword here. use the knowledge that you have, okay, to make an informed decision about what you need to clear, cancel and delete. And then once, you know, the healing's been in place, as I said before, you do have the manifestation power. We all do. We really, 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 really do. So, but this can't happen until this happens. It can't. It really can't. Not really. Not really. So that is our spiritual gift. So our gift in love. So I got, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. I got, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And then I got, wedding. This situation involves marriage. Now, I feel like yes, this could be something as simple as getting better information about how we can make more of an effort in our relationships. But I also get from this is sometimes we are wedded to not just people, thoughts and feelings and actions. And if we are wedded to certain ideas when it comes to accepting help, when it comes to making an effort, when it comes to what we think a relationship should be like, that can be positive and it can be negative. It depends how you're wedded to those ideas. So for example, if you're wedded to the idea that asking for help is wrong, you're probably not going to ask many people for help, and it might take you a longer time to achieve a goal. If you're wedded to the idea that making an effort for your partner is, you know, this or that, or you know, you're not really into that, and that could manifest negatively in your relationship. You see where I'm going with this, right? So it could be something simple, and it could be something deeper. So I'll leave it there. And then I asked for what would our gift be when it comes to everyday life on the physical, on our earth plane. So I got the Knight of Swords, and I got the Star card. So the Star card is actually Aquarius energy. Let me see. I know. So the gift that we will be getting in our 3D world is truth and knowledge about a lot of things, or one big thing. So because the Knight of Swords is quick information, but it's information comes in so quick. It could be angry, it could be happy, it could be good, it could be sad. The fact that it's with the Star card tells me that it's, even if it's bad, it will be something good. That's what it tells me. So knowledge that could be shocking, like really surprising, like you'd never have thought it in a million years. It could be something amazing, and equally it could be something awful, but in the same breath, whether it's good or whether it's bad, the Star energy is really powerful. It's a major arcana as well, which means that it's ordained. And essentially what it means is that as long as we stay true to our spiritual self and what is right or wrong for us, this information, whether it's good or bad, as I said, we will still be fine. We will be fine. We will be fine. You know? Yes. So that is it. That is the end of my first season. As I said, I'm really grateful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you or speaking to you in the next couple of weeks for our new moon in Aries, which I'm excited about. So I hope you have a blessed rest of your evening, and I will speak to you soon. Blessings.